What if I told you that Ford once built a truck with a refrigerator in the bed? Or that Chevrolet designed a pickup that could turn into a van? Throughout automotive history, manufacturers have created some truly bizarre trucks that vanished so quickly most people never knew they existed. Today we're diving into 10 of the most spectacular truck failures of all time. One of these cost its company over $900 million and nearly bankrupted an entire corporation. Another was so dangerous it was recalled after just 6 months on the market. Get ready for a journey through the strangest chapters in truck history that Detroit would rather you forget. Truck number 1, Chevrolet SSR. In 2003, Chevrolet unleashed what might be the most confused vehicle ever created, the Chevrolet SSR. What exactly was it? General Motors couldn't decide if it was a convertible sports car, a pickup truck, or a hot rod. So they made it all three at once. The SSR, which stood for Super Sport Roadster, featured a retractable hardtop that folded into the body behind the seats. Underneath its hood initially sat a 5.3-liter V8 producing a modest 300 horsepower, later upgraded to a 6-liter LS2, making 390 horsepower when sales inevitably floundered. What made the SSR so weird wasn't just its identity crisis. It was built on the same platform as GM's mid-size SUVs, like the Trailblazer, giving it a curb weight of nearly 4,800 pounds. That's heavier than many full-size trucks of the era. This weight made it sluggish despite its sports car pretensions. The truck bed was essentially useless, too shallow and small for any serious hauling. With a starting price of around $42,000 in 2003 dollars, equivalent to about $66,000 today, buyers were paying premium prices for compromised functionality. GM executives projected annual sales of 13,000 units. The reality? Just over 24,000 SSRs found buyers during its entire 4-year production run. The company lost an estimated $5,000 on every SSR it built, with the experiment costing GM well over $100 million. Truck number 2, Lincoln Blackwood. If ever there was a truck designed by people who had never actually used a truck, it was the 2002 Lincoln Blackwood. Ford's luxury division decided to enter the pickup market with what might be the most impractical luxury vehicle ever created. The Blackwood was essentially a Lincoln Navigator SUV from the doors forward, mated to a short pickup bed at the rear. But this wasn't just any bed. It was carpeted, lined with stainless steel, covered with a power tonneau cover, and couldn't be opened except from the sides, which featured split Dutch doors instead of a traditional tailgate. Lincoln went to extraordinary lengths to ensure the Blackwood couldn't perform any actual truck duties. The bed was just under 4 feet long and couldn't be exposed to the elements because of its carpeting. It was available exclusively in black, with black artificial wood paneling. Perhaps most bizarrely, the Blackwood was only available with rear-wheel drive, despite being marketed to affluent buyers in snowy states. Lincoln projected sales of 18,000 units annually. The reality? Production lasted just 15 months, from October 2001 to December 2002, with a total of 3,356 Blackwoods finding buyers. With a starting price of $52,500 in 2002, approximately $85,000 in today's dollars, Lincoln had created a vehicle that couldn't tow like a truck, couldn't haul like a truck, couldn't go off-road, and cost as much as a European luxury sedan. Truck number 3, Dodge Dakota Convertible. In the late 1980s, someone at Chrysler had what must have seemed like a brilliant idea at the time. What if we made a convertible pickup truck? The result was the Dodge Dakota Sport Convertible, produced from 1989 to 1991. The Dakota Convertible began life as a standard Dakota pickup. Chrysler shipped partially completed trucks to the American Sunroof Company, which removed the roof, reinforced the body, and installed a manual vinyl top along with a plastic rear window. With the top down, structural rigidity became a serious issue. Drivers reported significant body flex and squeaks over even minor road imperfections. Water leakage was a common complaint, with the convertible top allowing rain to seep into the cabin during storms. The manual top was also cumbersome to operate, requiring the driver to get out of the vehicle to secure it properly. The Dakota Convertible was positioned as a lifestyle vehicle for active buyers who wanted an open-air driving experience combined with the utility of a pickup. The problem was that neither experience was particularly good. As a convertible, it was drafty, noisy, and structurally compromised. As a pickup, the top mechanism intruded into cargo space. Dodge initially hoped to sell around 2,500 Dakota Convertibles per year. Actual production totaled just 3,000 759 units over 3 years before Chrysler mercifully pulled the plug. Today, surviving examples are rare, not because they're particularly valuable, but because many succumb to rust issues exacerbated by water intrusion around the poorly sealed convertible top. Coming up next is a truck so bizarre it looks like something from a science fiction movie. This vehicle cost its manufacturer nearly $1 billion in losses and was discontinued after just 2 years. But before we reveal that spectacular failure, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Now let's continue with number 4 on our list of the strangest trucks ever built. Truck number 4, Toyota HiAce truck, the van truck. Before the Toyota Tacoma became America's favorite midsize pickup, Toyota experimented with one of the strangest truck designs ever to reach production, a cab-over pickup based on its popular vans. While never officially sold as the Toyota van truck in the US, this oddball vehicle, known in some markets as the Toyota HiAce truck or Light Ace truck, combined van-like forward control styling with a cargo bed. Introduced in various global markets throughout the 1980s, these van-based trucks featured a cab-forward design, meaning the driver sat directly over the front wheels and the engine was located beneath the seats. This layout created a truly bizarre driving experience, as owners reported excessive cabin heat and awkward maintenance access. Checking the oil often required pulling apart sections of the interior. Power came from a modest 2.2-liter 4-cylinder, producing around 101 horsepower, barely enough to move its nearly 4,000-pound curb weight. Acceleration was glacial, with 0 to 60 times reportedly approaching 15 seconds. Although these cab-over pickups were common in Japan, Asia, and Australia, Toyota never officially marketed them in the US. However, some gray market imports and aftermarket conversions made their way stateside, leading to their urban legend-like status among Toyota enthusiasts. Surviving examples are extremely rare today, with collectors seeking out these quirky vehicles for their sheer oddity and retro charm. While not a mainstream failure, Toyota's experiment with van-based pickup trucks remains one of the strangest footnotes in automotive history. Truck number 5, GMC Envoy XUV. In 2004, GMC unveiled what might be the most overcomplicated solution to a problem nobody had, the Envoy XUV. This midsize SUV featured a retractable roof over the cargo area, transforming it from an enclosed SUV into something resembling a small pickup truck. The XUV's party piece was its complex mid-gate system that could be configured in multiple ways. The rear glass could slide down into the tailgate, the rear roof section could retract forward, and a partition behind the second row of seats could fold down. The idea was to create the ultimate versatile vehicle that could haul tall items like refrigerators while still functioning as a family SUV. To accomplish this feat of engineering, GMC created one of the most complicated roof systems ever fitted to a production vehicle. The sliding roof contained numerous motors, seals, and mechanical components, all of which were potential failure points. The problems became apparent shortly after the XUV hit the market. The retractable roof system was prone to leaks and mechanical failures. The complex seals around the movable roof sections deteriorated quickly, allowing water into the cargo area during rainstorms. The partition system was cumbersome to operate. GMC projected sales of 30,000 units annually for the Envoy XUV. The reality, just over 13,000 were sold before production ended after only 2 years. The experiment cost General Motors an estimated $125 million in development costs that were never recouped. Truck number 6, Subaru Baja. Remember the Subaru Brat from the 1970s and 80s? In 2003, Subaru tried to recapture that magic with the Baja, a vehicle that answered the question absolutely no one was asking. What if an Outback wagon had an identity crisis and wanted to be a pickup truck? The Baja was essentially an Outback station wagon with the rear cargo area replaced by a tiny 41-inch bed. To compensate for this diminutive cargo space, Subaru included what they called a switchback pass-through system. With the rear seats folded down and a small door open between the cabin and bed, owners could theoretically carry items up to 7.5 feet long. In practice, the narrow opening severely limited what could actually fit through it. What made the Baja particularly strange wasn't just its trucklet design, but its styling. Subaru adorned it with massive amounts of gray plastic cladding, integrated bed rails, and enormous Baja lettering across the sides and rear. The aesthetic was polarizing at best, with many critics describing it as looking like it was wearing an ill-fitting costume. costume. Subaru initially projected annual sales of 24,000 units for the North American market. The reality? Just over 30,000 Bajas were sold during its entire 4-year production run from 2003 to 2006. By 2005, Subaru was moving barely 300 units per month nationwide. The Baja's starting price of around $24,000 in 2003, approximately $38,000 today, positioned it awkwardly between compact pickups and premium SUVs. Today, the Baja has developed a small cult following, with clean examples commanding surprisingly high prices on the used market. Truck number 7. Ford Explorer Sport Trac Adrenaline. Before the Ford Raptor revolutionized the performance truck market, Ford had a different vision for high-performance pickups: the Explorer Sport Trac Adrenaline. This forgotten chapter in Ford's truck history began as one of the most ambitious performance truck projects ever conceived, only to be watered down into obscurity. The original concept for the Adrenaline, announced in 2005, was revolutionary. Ford planned to build a 390-horsepower SVT badge supertruck featuring a supercharged 4.6-liter V8 all-wheel drive and performance-tuned suspension. It would have been the first high-performance truck from Ford's special vehicle team since the Lightning, and the first ever with all-wheel drive. Then reality intervened. Ford's financial troubles in the mid-2000s forced drastic cost-cutting. By the time the Adrenaline reached production for the 2008 model year, it had been transformed into little more than an appearance package. The supercharged engine, performance suspension, and SVT badging were all eliminated. The production Adrenaline was mechanically identical to the standard sport Trac, with either a 210-horsepower V6 or a 292-horsepower V8. The only differences were cosmetic: 20-inch wheels, black painted trim, and special badging. For this modest appearance package, Ford charged a $3,000 premium over the standard Sport Trac Limited. The Adrenaline represents a classic case of over-promising and under-delivering. The concept generated genuine excitement among truck enthusiasts, only to disappoint when the production version arrived with none of the promised performance upgrades. Today, it's largely forgotten, overshadowed by the genuinely high-performance Raptor that debuted just 2 years later. Truck number 8. Hummer H2 SUT. If any vehicle perfectly captured the excess of pre-recession America, it was the Hummer H2 SUT. Introduced for the 2005 model year, the sport utility truck variant of the civilian Hummer was a monument to impracticality and conspicuous consumption. The H2 SUT began life as the already massive H2 SUV, but General Motors replaced the enclosed cargo area with a tiny pickup bed measuring just 3 feet long. To somewhat address this limitation, GM incorporated a midgate system similar to the one used in the Chevrolet Avalanche. With the rear glass removed and the back wall of the cabin folded down, the bed could extend to just over 6 feet. Power came from a 6-liter V8 producing 316 horsepower, later upgraded to a 6.2-liter, making 393 horsepower. Despite this seemingly adequate power, the H2 SUT weighed nearly 6,700 pounds, more than some medium-duty commercial trucks. This resulted in abysmal fuel economy, with real-world figures often below 10 miles per gallon. The H2 SUT's dimensions were absurd for a vehicle ostensibly designed for civilian use. At 203 inches long, 81 inches wide, and 77 inches tall, it barely fit into standard parking spaces or garages. Its turning radius of 43.5 feet made it virtually impossible to maneuver in urban environments. The starting price was equally excessive, beginning at around $53,000 in 2005, approximately $78,000 today, and climbing to well over $60,000 with options. Production ended in 2009 as GM entered bankruptcy, with the entire Hummer brand becoming a casualty of the automotive industry crisis. Truck number 9. Cadillac Escalade EXT. When Cadillac decided to enter the pickup truck market in 2002, they didn't just dip a toe in the water, they dove in headfirst with the Escalade EXT, one of the most luxurious and least practical trucks ever created. Based on the Chevrolet Avalanche, the Escalade EXT was essentially an Escalade SUV, with the rear section replaced by a reconfigurable cargo area featuring GM's midgate system. With the rear glass removed and the back wall folded down, the 5-foot bed could extend to 8 feet for larger cargo. Power initially came from a 6-liter V8 producing 345 horsepower, later upgraded to a 6.2-liter, making 403 horsepower. Despite this substantial power, the EXT weighed around 5,800 pounds, resulting in fuel economy that rarely exceeded 13 miles per gallon in real-world driving. The interior was pure Cadillac Cadillac luxury with leather everywhere, wood trim, and every available technology of the era. What made the EXT so strange wasn't its luxury appointments, but its fundamental identity crisis. It wasn't particularly good at being a truck. The complex mid-gate system was cumbersome to operate, and the luxurious interior meant owners were reluctant to use it for actual work. Cadillac positioned the EXT as the perfect vehicle for affluent contractors or builders who needed occasional hauling capability but wanted luxury the rest of the time. In reality, most contractors preferred actual trucks, and most luxury buyers preferred conventional SUVs. Sales were modest from the beginning. Cadillac moved just over 13,000 EXTs in its first full year, with numbers declining steadily thereafter. By the time the second generation arrived in 2007, annual sales had fallen below 5,000 units. The EXT was discontinued in 2013 after fewer than 35,000 were sold across both generations. Truck number 10. Ford Ranchero Scrambler Concept. To conclude our journey through failed and weird trucks, let's look at one that, thankfully, never made it to production: the 1982 Ford Ranchero Scrambler Concept. This vehicle represented what might have been the final evolution of the car-based pickup if Ford had continued down that path. The Scrambler Concept was Ford's attempt to reimagine the Ranchero for the 1980s after the original was discontinued in 1979. Based on the Fox body Mustang platform, it featured a sloping front end with pop-up headlights, a two-seat cabin, and a modest pickup bed. What made the Scrambler truly bizarre was its attempt to be all things to all people. It featured removable glass T-tops for an open-air driving experience. The rear window could be removed and stowed under the bed floor. The tailgate could be configured as a ramp for loading motorcycles or ATVs. There was even an optional tent that could be attached to the bed for camping. Power would have come from a range of engines, from an economical four-cylinder to a more powerful V8, reflecting the oil crisis concerns of the early 1980s. The interior featured digital instrumentation and an aircraft-inspired control layout that looked futuristic for the time. Ford seriously considered putting the Scrambler into production and went so far as to conduct market research with potential buyers. The feedback was devastating. Truck buyers found it too small and car-like. Car buyers questioned its utility compared to a conventional coupe. Nobody could justify its projected price, which would have been significantly higher than either a compact pickup or a sporty car. The Scrambler concept was ultimately abandoned, with Ford choosing to focus on its conventional truck lineup and the emerging compact Ranger. In retrospect, Ford's decision was prescient. Within a few years, the car-based pickup market in North America had completely collapsed, with the last major entry, the Subaru Brat, exiting by 1987. These 10 failed and weird trucks represent some of the automotive industry's most fascinating missteps. From over-engineered solutions like the GMC Envoy XUV to lifestyle vehicles that failed to find their audience like the Subaru Baja, they remind us that innovation doesn't always lead to success. If you enjoyed this look at strange trucks, check out our video, 10 Weirdest Cars You Won't Believe Exist. From bubble cars to that rocket-shaped red vehicle you won't believe was street legal, these bizarre automobiles make today's weird trucks look practically normal.